What loophole did you exploit for years before someone found out? There is an app for a local burger chain where it allows you to roll the dice to get a code for a free double patty burger upgrade. It was designed so you could only try it once per day, and it even shows the date of the roll on the code so the cashier could verify it. However, I found out that you can just change the date on your phone and try again immediately. If you got nothing, change it again and just keep going until you get the code. Then, when you got the code, you change the date back to current date and the app updates the code so it looks like you rolled it today. I got free burger upgrades for years until they finally got rid of the feature altogether. I don't know if anyone ever figured out this exploit. They removed it for other reasons. Growing up, I worked at a chain grocery store. They had a policy in place that if an item price label didn't match the scanned price in the computer, the first item was free and any subsequent items would be for whichever price was lower. Every few months an elderly woman would come in and spend 4-5 hours shopping. When she would come up to the register, she would have a full cart and near everything would be free. I had to ring her out a handful of times and only caught a few items overall that she was wrong on. At one point, she found a comforter BBB mislabeled and got it for free, $40.50 sticker price. More than once the store manager would watch her on the store cameras to ensure she wasn't switching the stickers, but never saw her do anything sneaky. Just very calmly looking over every item shelved one at a time. Eventually the policy changed and she stopped coming in at all. TLDR, store managers hate this one simple trick. My friend used to restock condom machines in pubs and collect the money from them. The machines would always break and get jammed all the time, but because it was condoms no one would ever tell someone that the machine ate their money. He would just count how many condoms were gone and give that amount of money to the company and pocket the rest. Edit. I meant to also say he moved on to another job. Apparently the next person that did it collected all the money correctly and threw all their figures out. When I was a kid there was a payphone down the street that if you put your quarter in made a call but no one answered it would give you back 2 quarters. Went there all the time and called home when I knew no one was there to answer. I went to a sporting goods store and they asked me for my phone number when I was paying. I was in a bad mood and didn't want to fight with the clerk, so I told them our local area code +555 1212, which is the old number for directory assistance. Park accepted it and I left. When I checked my receipt I had a huge number of loyalty points, because apparently a ton of other people did the same thing. I called the office the next day and switched the account to my new address. A half dozen times over the next few years. I went and got free stuff with all the points that I kept racking up as one of their most loyal customers. Edit. Whoa. I've never had a comment blow up like this before. Thanks everyone. Totally made my day. Years ago I was a season ticket holder for an awful NBA team. My tickets came electronically via PDF. I had okay seats in the upper part of the lower bowl. But nothing great. Anyway. On nights where I knew it would be empty, which was most nights unless a superstar like Kobe or LeBron was in town, I would use the full version of Adobe Acrobat to edit the PDFs to indicate a much better seat location than mine. The barcode still scanned just fine because I didn't mess with it. But when the usher took my printout all he saw was that I was sitting on the floor. Got away with it for years until the team actually got good for a while and the place was packed. The McDonald's app used to have an entry in the order book for garlic parmesan fries that you only found through the search option. It cost $0. 00. Every time I ordered it I got free regular fries. Also you can set the drink option on Happy Meals to coffee. Which is not really a loophole but handy. Parking meters took credit cards. But they weren't actually connected to a live network at all times. The machine just confirmed the card number was valid and was not expired. Then spit out a valid pass. So when my card number got stolen and replaced, I kept my old, cancelled card. Of course when the system tried to run the card later it would be declined. My car and I were long gone by then. Sadly they wised up and now it charges your card before giving you a pass. Worked out how to get the jackpot every time on a Connect 4 fruit machine in a pub I used to drink in. It would cost about £5 to £10 before you'd get into the bonus round. Then when you did, you'd play a Connect 4 game against the machine. You place the first counter, and then after the machine places the next counter, you mirror the machine's move. Every game ends in a draw, and you win the jackpot, which was £50. The pub landlord removed the machine after around 3 months as it was regularly empty. Basically paid for my drinking and more for 3 months. When I was in school they sent us home with a form for our parents to fill in. The idea was to collect updated contact information in case anything had changed, phone numbers etc. If you were late to school, the school texted your parents to let them know. For myself, the usual punishment was a grounding. I was frequently late, so I filled the form with my own phone number and started to receive the text messages that were intended to tell my parents that I was late. One week the local Chick-fil-A put a coupon in a local coupon magazine flyer which was buy one, get one free. Any item on the menu. Next to that coupon they had a 50% off any menu item. I carefully checked, and neither coupon mentioned cannot be combined with any other offer anywhere on it. So I ran out to the local grocery store and grabbed a stack of these flyers. Sure enough the next week the offer was gone. But it was too late to stop me. I spent almost 2 years as a grad student living almost exclusively off of 128 count nugget platters that I would get for 25% of the cost. First half off, second free. Place went under new management and they put up a sign saying they would no longer be accepting those coupons. Not entirely sure if that was due solely to me or if anyone else was pulling the same thing. I had about 20 coupon pairs left when they shut it down. Still ongoing. Thanks to a charge card I was granted top tier elite status with a hotel chain. I downgraded 6 years ago but the status remained. The hotel chain went through a merger but since I had retained the status for over 10 years I was given lifetime top status in the new program that was created. Back in 1999-2000 there was this web advertising company called All Advantage. You could install their ad banner on your computer and it would occupy like the bottom 15% of your screen and show you ads, and AA would pay you for the time you were exposed to the ads. Of course they had basic measures in place like stopping your accumulated time if your screensaver came on or your computer went to sleep. But all it took was a simple program that would keep your mouse slowly moving while you're actually away IRL and the AA clock would keep on ticking. Not sure if keeping it running at all times I was away IRL ended up being cost effective in regards to cost of electricity, but I was a teenager living with my parents so I didn't care about that. I think I pulled maybe $500 or so before the company went under. This is super weird and I haven't thought about it in years. But I suppose it was a loophole. Soda companies used to run giveaways where they would put a code under the cap and then you could enter the codes for points and get free stuff once you had banked enough points. I was a stock boy at a local grocery store and we had to take care of the bottle return machines also. Any loose caps and nasty soda juices would settle in the bottoms of the bags. So on slow nights we would cut the corner of the bags to drain and collect any loose caps which I would then wash in the mop sink and take home to bank the codes. I ended up getting some sweet stuff like a few CDs, a zip-up sweatshirt. Local casino issued a $20 free play coupon in the newspaper with no expiration date. I talked to the newspaper delivery guy and asked him about that copy and he told me he's got hundreds of them in the van as they were a few days old now. I got all of them, clipped out the coupons and proceeded to make $19.50 every day after work for around 500 or so days. Not quite years, but pretty damn close. The casino never printed a coupon without expiration, one per customer rules ever since. Used to work at Starbucks like 7 years ago and they used to print these receipts where if you filled out a survey it would give you a 6-digit code which you could then exchange for a free drink. However, when you gave in the receipt with the code we would just toss it in the garbage and then give the free drink. So over a shift I would just keep all the survey receipts when people didn't want them. Write random numbers on them. Then keep a wallet full of free coffee. Since I already got tons of free drinks, I would give them to homeless people and explain it was good for a free coffee. Probably gave away like 100 free drinks. My old job, I worked at a pretty large gym, gold level. Like the third highest level. Monthly fee was $79 for the gold membership, but employees got a free diamond membership. Worked there for a year and a half before I quit. But my account was never deactivated. Been going there for a while completely free. Still not found out. For that money do you get a free hand job after your workout? Or what? I used to live in an apartment across the road from a casino whilst at university. They released an app where if you check in you get points that go towards free food and drinks. Because I was close enough to the casino I could just check in without going to the casino itself. Every Saturday I used to get a free burger, fries and drink and watch sport in the sports bar. They eventually scrapped the app. It was awesome considering I was a broke uni student. Got keys to a new flat on a Friday afternoon. The place had electric but it wasn't in my name. Went to the electric company just before closing and the lady said flat 8 you say. We only have record of 7 flats on that building. Tell you what, glances at the clock, come back Monday with the serial number on your meter. And we'll get you all hooked up. I never went back and enjoyed free electric for over 2 years until I moved out. Edit to clarify. When I say wasn't in my name, this was originally a large single dwelling property that had been converted into flats apartments. I guess was a late addition and I was the first tenant. It simply wasn't registered to me or anyone. It's also standard here in the UK to pay the individual utility bills to the individual utility companies providing their services. My family used to go to this campground in the summer and rent a little cabin for like a week. In the main building there was a little arcade, mostly older games, and a football table, and an air hockey table. What most people didn't know was, the air hockey table was broke. If you put quarters in, you could push the plunger to start the machine and then get your quarters back if you did it just right. A couple of years in a row were super fun because me and one other kid that knew would keep air hockey going for the entire time. The arcade would be filled with kids who would often play other games while waiting their turn at air hockey. They must have found out after a few years though, because one year we went back and it was fixed. The arcade was also a complete ghost town. And the campground made no money off it after that. That's when I fully realized and understood the concept of a loss leader at like 13 years old. Circa late 80s. You could make a long distance collect call from a payphone and charge it to a private number. The operator would call the other number to confirm. We'd ask the operator to call the number of another payphone nearby and have a friend authorize the call. Free long distance for almost a year. Because I was a good student and rarely got into trouble, I was allowed to have my own phone extension in my room. So, if I was out past curfew, I'd call home. When my mom answered, I'd say, "It's for me. I've got it." And she'd think I was up in my room. She never did catch on. Capital D. Edit. It was 1976. My mom never knew. I know that because I confessed to it years later. She was very shocked and mad. And she grounded me. But I was 40 and had my own house by then. My parents were the early to bed and early to rise type. And my room was a converted attic 2 floors up from the rest of the bedrooms. I often came home after everyone else was asleep because I had a part-time job. So I was used to sneaking in like a ninja. It was a bright yellow princess phone. And finally, I knew a good thing. So I did not abuse this technique. Just a few times when it was absolutely necessary. Like the time we hitchhiked to see Peter Frampton. In high school, our P.E. grade was based on improvement. We took a skills test at the beginning and another at the end, and your grade was based on how much you improved. So, once I learned that, I always sucked at the first test and then did miraculously better at the second. So I had a massive improvement and thus a better grade. One of my college roommates had a younger brother in high school. Their pay grade was partially based on their improvement on their mile times. He was a track runner and started out with a mile time in the low 4 minutes. Crazy fast. Got a B in pay because he couldn't improve his time by much. My boss was always late and patients would always show up early for the first appointment of the day. I started letting staff know I would be changing it on the schedule to show our first appointment starting 15 minutes earlier. We ran like clockwork for a year until the doc decided to randomly be on time more often. I had to admit patients weren't late, I had just been shifting the schedule to make things run more efficiently. Arby's used to have a take a survey on the back of the receipt and get a free roast beef sandwich. But when I got the free one, I got a receipt then too. I bought one sandwich, got literally dozens for free over the course of a year or so. I managed a BK in high school and they had a similar free sandwich with survey on receipt. That wasn't a loophole. It was intentional. Most people who would come in feeling smart for their free sandwich would grab a drink or other item. You'd be shocked how much restaurants make on soda. When Lyft first came out, they were giving away free rides up to like $20-30 if I remember correctly. All you had to do was refer a friend. So me and my college roommate just made a few email address. And somehow my free rides glitched and I just kinda had free rides for the year. Edit. I remember what caused the glitch. I had lost my debit card that was linked to the account. So I had to cancel it and get a new one. For some reason, Lyft kept processing payments to my old card. At my current apartment complex, they just changed the laundry machines, so you need to use this super slow app. I found out if you press start on the app and start on the machine and then back out of the app while it's chatting with the machine, the machine will start but won't charge any money. Been washing and drying for free for a few months. App name is similar to Small GS or Small Payments. Edit. Others in this thread use this app, so I'm gonna hold back the direct name of it and y'all can use this trick for longer. I don't know if this counts as a loophole, but back when I was an unemployed college student and before public transport tickets became electronic where I live, I used to cover my ticket in a thin layer of glue stick, so when I validated the ticket the ink would stay on top of the glue layer. I would then wash the ticket very carefully with water and the ink would come off. I'd let it dry and I magically had a brand new ticket. This would last about a week before the ticket started looking too weird. The thing we clocked in on when I worked at Kmart would round to the closest quarter hour. So by clocking in 8 minutes early and clocking out 8 minutes after my shift, I got paid for 30 minutes rather than for the 16 minutes. By exploiting this, I was paid 5 hours of overtime a week. Cumulatively, during my time there, this added up to about 5 weeks of extra pay. I wasn't ever caught, though. Edit. Actually, since it was all overtime, it was closer to 10 weeks of regular pay. At my old job we had a vending machine in the basement that gave change back when you bought something. Sometimes it gave more than you paid. No one used this machine as the basement was being reconstructed, but it was regularly filled. Edit. Someone asked this. It went on for about 1.5 years and I don't know what happened to the machine. It was just gone one day. Someone could have caught on, or it could have been because construction was finished. I probably made $500 to $700 in cash back. And at one point I actually had a sack of coins. Was living near and attending our local university. While working full time in an economy in the midst of a recession, I barely had enough money to pay the bills, let alone eat. Where I live is very well known for its tourist industry and casinos, so I had quite a few friends who worked in it and would tell me about these massive employee luncheon cafeterias. At that time there were no ID cards or lanyards to be scanned or checked. All you needed was to find it and be dressed appropriately to the employer's dress code. After my friend and I did a dry run on one of those trips, in order for me to find it without getting lost I would go it alone. For almost 3 years I had lunch dinner for free. Learning the peak service times and the dead zones. Even got along with some of the cafeteria workers and custodial crews. There was a soda machine that was really old that would still charge $25 for a can of soda. Pretty soon I realized that it would give you a can for free if you just mash the buttons repeatedly. It was the best part of grocery shopping. There used to be a third-party warranty you could get at Newegg that was called replacement or refund. It was for laptops that were under $500. The warranty cost like $75 for 2 years. At the end of 2 years, I would file a claim for whatever small thing was wrong with the laptop, headphone jack, card reader, bad key, etc. I would send it to them, and they would refund me the full $500. Then I would just buy a different laptop and get the warranty again. I rolled the same $500 for 3 different laptops. I basically rented a laptop from Newegg for $37 per year. 2 from college. Not exactly loopholes but playing the system. Pizza chain had coupons printed on their larger boxes. With 10 coupons you could get a free cheese carry-out pizza. Used to raid every single trash can of their pizza boxes in the dorms. Or offer to throw away someone's box for the coupons. Rarely paid for a pizza, but got plenty of cheese carry-outs for free. Campus paper printed a coupon for 2 free game tokens in the bowling alley arcade in the student union. Limit 1 coupon per day. I got a stack of coupons. Free campus paper. Twice a week I had to go through the student union for class and was usually with a friend. She was a good sport. And the 2 of us cashing in coupons meant 4 game tokens a day. 8 per week. I made her a pair of earrings out of 2 game tokens for being a good sport. I had a killer racket in school where I would buy the graduating class's used textbooks for like $5 and then sell them to a third-party bookseller in the next town over who would pay me between $25 and $30 for each one. At our university, each student had a quota of around 50 pages per month you could print in the computer labs for free. After that was used up, you had to pay. However, this credit system only worked on the Mac and Windows machines. This was before everyone and their dog had their own laptops. Down the hall was a Solaris computer pool, which nobody ever used, where they didn't get this quota software to run. So the students that knew about this, and were willing to deal with the not so user-friendly Solaris systems, got to print as much as they liked for free.